What's up, thotties?
It's your last two fucking brain cells here.
Wait, what?
You heard me.
Inner
thoughts. Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome back.
This is our third ever official episode, and I am in a chatty mood. I don't know about you. I got a lot on my mind.
I was, and then I hit the joint, and I'm like a little tie, but it's okay. No, we're gonna pump it up. I have my matcha here, so I should probably really just chug that.
What's going on with you, girl? What's the update? I actually did not see you this weekend.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other for a minute, actually.
I know.
I went to one of my good friend from high school's wedding in Palm Springs. Actually, she's not even my friend from high school. She's my friend from middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a beautiful wedding. Very like Coachella vibes, kind of almost like boho chic, gorge. And yeah, it was really weird because I was like one of two in the entire wedding, like everyone who was invited, single girls. It was me and one other girl. And there's probably like 6 single guys. And it's very interesting to go to a wedding with that dynamic. Like
all the single guys just like chasing after the two
bro
girls.
Like I feel like when you go to a wedding, people just have this fantasy of like meeting someone and like hooking up with them and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I literally went and I stayed with my best friend and her fiance. And we stayed in the room together, and on the first night, like there was a huge king bed, 3 of us easily fit in it. And on the first night, my best friend was already asleep, and I was like ready to go to bed. All the groom's party had come into our room and was like partying, and I was the only girl, and I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. So I go in there. 3 different guys came in the room and were like, oh, are you sleeping in here? Like, I'm like, yeah. And they were like, oh, well, you know, there's room in my bed. Like, I have extra room if you need. Like, so you all 3 don't need to share. I'm like, no, I'm good, thanks.
And by the way, this is a California. I saw it on FaceTime. This is a California king almost. It was huge.
It was huge.
The whole room.
I
was taken
literally
away.
woke up in the morning and like didn't even feel either of them next to me in the bed.
Yeah, you didn't even touch them. They're probably like spooning you over here. Like, I have
no,
a
I think we
queen-size
all
bed to
were.
myself.
I think we were all individually sleeping like in our own lane, and no one even felt anyone. It was huge. So it was just funny because they were like, "Oh my god, like you're all sleeping here," and then.
Also, your friend is only like a pea size. So
Oh yeah,
like, it wasn't easy not to touch
literally
her.
Literally the size of my pinky finger. And it's funny though because obviously her fiance and I have like a really good relationship too. And he was like happy that I was sleeping in the bed with him. He's like whatever. But all these other guys were coming in. They were just like inviting me, and I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. And then someone asked, they're like, are you guys a throuple? I was like, yeah, we're a throuple. But anyways, yeah, interesting dynamic going to a wedding with way more single guys than girls.
And you got more weddings to go to being single as well.
Yeah.
This year.
And I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll have a date by then. Hopefully. We have a few months, so.
Either if I'm your date or somebody else, you will have a date. Don't worry.
Exactly.
I'll be your gay date.
Probably. And it was, oh my God, one of her friends that she's known forever, who I've like heard about all my life, was there, and he's gay. And it was like my first time meeting him, and he was like my the weekend. Like we both were just vibing with each other so hard.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I just like get the gays. Like
yeah.
I just get the gays now. I'm a gays girl.
There's a lot of girls that want to be a girl's gay. Or gays girl.
A gays girl, right?
There's a lot of girls that want to like have that, but they try too hard. You know?
Oh,
like, oh my god. There's like girls that like fantasize about gay men.
Oh really?
Yes, not fantasize,
weird.
but no, like want to be friends with them. Like a gay best friend is like so needed in every woman's life.
Yeah,
I understand, but girls would go and do the absolute most.
For lengths to get that. Yeah. So pretty much that was my weekend, and I still feel like I'm recovering somewhat. We had a lot of fun and we partied a lot.
Right.
Lots of special chocolates.
Chocolates?
Yeah, some fun chocolates.
Like dark chocolate?
Just like special ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what an eventful weekend.
Yeah, that was my weekend.
So fun.
What were you up to this weekend? You had your own adventure too.
Oh, I actually had a really low-key weekend this weekend. Yeah, I mean, it was a very uneventful but also very fun weekend. I went to go see a friend. We hung out all weekend, and this particular friend, I'm like, why am I working my way around
I
this?
don't know.
Friends with benefits. What's your opinion on friends with benefits? Do you have anybody that you're like that you're friends with? You can like go all the way with them and then pull back from that and be like, okay, but as I was saying, like go back into these talks, like, or do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that do you think sometimes someone falls for each other?
Um, I've had both scenarios, so I think it really just depends on the scenario, but I do think a lot of times people catch feelings. I have like the perfect friends with benefits from high school. We
Right.
would literally just like hook up, and
Love
that was
that.
that. Like he's one of my good friends, and
I love that for you. I never had a friends of benefits up until like last year, I think.
oh yeah, no. Like I had no interest in dating him. He had already dated some of my friends,
Yeah.
and it was literally just like for funsies hookups. But then you also have the friends with benefits situation where usually like one person catches feelings or sometimes both people catch feelings and then it becomes a situationship.
Yeah.
So I have experience with all of the above.
I have this thing, I think it's with everyone, that no one wants to commit to the wrong person. So it's like, I mean, if you do start catching feelings in a situation like that, it's interesting because for me, or I am not looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
I do not want to be in one right now. If it happens, it happens, but like
Mhm.
that's not what I'm on the hunt for. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, unless it's like the perfect person. That makes sense.
Right. Even
Um
then, it's like my mind isn't set on that, I guess.
yeah. I mean, how are you ever going to know if someone's the perfect person until it takes dating someone and getting in those situations with them
Yeah.
that like you find out who they are because you know, I don't know. I just think as long as you feel like you can have trust with someone and communication,
Yeah. And I
and
think
if
just like being friends with them in general is a really good way of finding that out. And,
right, right,
I think the number one thing with friends of benefits is that both people know exactly what's going on. Like this is
yes,
just for fun. I love you as a person, but I'm not in love with you. There's
right,
a hard line, fine line between that. And I think as long as both people know that, that is a successful, healthy friends with benefit situation. But lines can get blurred really easily.
yeah. Because friends with benefits and then their situationships, like there's also kind of like a fine line between that too.
Right.
I think friends with benefits is literally you guys hang out and you fuck like randomly. But then like
Yeah.
you could literally hang out and like not have sex too and just like literally hang out and like kiki
Right.
and like not have there be like sexual tension or emotions. It's like really when you're just friends. Like there's no
Yeah,
emotions
it's like you
involved.
don't like, touch each other, you're not kissing each other. It's
Right.
literally only in those intimate moments where you're both are
Right.
just feeling it. Great,
And
but
then I
other than
think
that, it's just we're hanging out, we're friends, we're
yeah,
playing video games. Like it's nothing serious.
exactly. And then I think a situationship is more like when there's emotions that start getting involved.
Give me more tea
But,
about
like,
situationships. I don't think I've ever.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's like pretty much the same thing. It's like a relationship without the label. Or even if someone's not even like friends with benefits and then you hook
Yeah.
up with them, like if you guys kind of
Cash.
like lay down, like, oh, we're just fucking, then like that's one thing. But then it's all of a sudden once like feelings get involved on both parties, I think it has to be like
Yeah.
both parties.
Yeah.
But
I
then no
mean,
one is wanting to
What
like
do you call
commit.
it when one person or friends with benefits is starting to catch feelings? For
Well,
the
then
other
I think the
person?
other person cuts that shit off real quick.
Yeah, because
If they're not feeling that and they're not ever going to feel that, then like they lay that down. That's why
Right.
communication is so key.
Exactly, and make
So
sure both
key.
people are on the same page
Right.
consistently.
Right.
Interesting, yeah.
Anyways,
I
I
mean-
guess that kind of like brings up which we tried bringing up in our first episode, but we really danced around the subject because we went off on so many tangents. But like
We did.
dating in LA. Let's finally fucking talk about it because I feel like out here it is a lot of
Hooking up.
hooking up, friends with benefits,
People are getting to the point
situationships.
because a lot of people's minds or eyes are on the prize elsewhere out here, which is fine. I feel that. Exhibit A right here. Like a lot of people are not looking for relationships, but
Right.
for those people who are looking for relationships, LA is like I think like the worst city almost in the whole world to look.
It is tough dating out here in LA.
Right.
I think beyond even just dating, just finding real genuine relationships with real genuine people is tough.
Yeah. Yeah, just like raw good people in LA is
Right.
rare enough as it is.
Right. I think LA people get a bad rap for how they are, but if you actually meet people who are from LA or California pretty much in general, they tend to be the most low key, down to earth people. It's everyone who transplants to LA that then thinks they have to act and look and, be a certain way, that they get ego involved and all this stuff. But I feel like generally, usually people from LA are like better than people who just come here and give us that name.
And also, like 90% of people out here are transplants of
Right,
some
exactly.
sort. So that can be a lot
Exactly.
of shitty people out here.
Yeah. I think it's funny too because I think a lot of it goes to like status for girls and guys. Like nowadays with girls wanting to be like city girls and fucking material girls and all this shit. There's like so much shit in the media being like, you use men for their money, like blah, 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 blah. And then out here, it's funny because I think there's like a whole group of guys who like their lives are partying and just like clout. Like when you go to the freaking clubs out here, there's always those tables where it's like bunch of guys, they're rich, like they're like trying to ball
Yeah.
out and they're just like buying bottle service. And for me, like when I date someone, I don't know, shit like that doesn't impress me. Like, why are you in your mid 30s still at the club every weekend buying bottle service? Like, that's so cool that you have that money and
Right.
you're wearing all this designer, but also, like,
How
you know
desperate
what would
are
be
you?
cooler? If you were saving that money to buy a house or
Yeah.
investing it, or, you know what I mean? That's why I think it's kind of hard for me in LA dating because I don't know. One of the things is like, I like to know who someone is as a person. I'd rather have someone who's broke, who has like ambition and drive and is smart. So when they get money, they know what to do with it, as opposed to like these fucking people getting money right now and like flexing it on the stupidest shit.
Yeah. Spending on materialistic things or things that just don't pay off in the long run, too. It's like you said, buying a house or investing it in something like, I don't know. It's really interesting. I think a lot of people come out here and blow their money, and a lot of people out here don't last. Whether if it's because they go broke or because things don't work out. I think that you just have to keep your eye on the prize if you do
Yeah.
come to a city like this, especially in a relationship, because kind of going back to that like whole topic. Like, I mean, like I said in previous episodes, I'm single my whole life, and that has not changed in the last 3 years that I've been out here. So
Right.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. What has your experience been like dating in LA? Because I know when we first met and you had kind of like just first moved out here, you were like almost, you were a little like intimidated kind of by the gay scene.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of reasons why I kind of for right now I'm not like looking for a relationship being in this crazy city. Well, first of all, you go to these bars, West Hollywood, good old Santa Monica Boulevard. It's where all the gays go. We all know and love it, and I go out, but great to have fun. But a lot of people meet each other, and that night they go home with each other, and I've been close to going down those routes too. But at the end of the day, it's like if you meet someone at a bar, gay or straight, doesn't matter, and they're just down to hook up right when they meet you and right after they dance with you or just when they start talking to you, it's like they're probably doing that the weekend before. They're probably going to do that again the weekend after. Like, you just don't know what is up with other people and, like, if they're clean, if they're not. Like, they have no obligation to tell you anything that's truthful. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I feel like that's kind of like a subconscious thing that I need to work on and open myself up more. But there's truth to it too. People out here are just kind of. I think I am intimidated because I just don't want to catch anything at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
also I don't want to like get my heart broken too because I think I can't see a relationship lasting too long with someone that I meet at WeHo at the bar. But also I don't know. I haven't really been down that route.
Yeah. I think until you kind of like experience that,
Also,
it's kind of,
who knows? Maybe LA is not even where I'm meant to be to find the one. I mean, who
yeah.
knows? That can be anywhere, anytime. We'll
Yeah.
see. I'm
It's true.
22.
Do you feel like you've really tried to give it a shot of dating in LA or no, not really?
Not really. Like I have the apps, but here I am on the apps. Like I I go on, I post my pictures, say what I gotta say, like in the bio or whatever, and I kind of just like let people come to me. And I have this thing where I just like kind of scroll through and see all the people that have hit me up and
Mm-hmm.
matched with or tapped. It depends on what app you're using. If you're in the gay world, you know what tap is. But yeah, no, there hasn't been like any times where I'm like gone through, tried to pursue anything. It's kind of like the lack of motivation for me. At the end of the day, my eye is just not on the prize in that department right now. So I really just like don't feel any, I don't know. I honestly don't. Besides conversations like these, I never think about being in a relationship at
Yeah.
this point. Like, I do not want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it just, maybe I'm just wired wrong. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think that. I think if anything, like, probably just because you've never even experienced it, like, you don't know what it's even like. So how do you miss or want something that you don't even know
Exactly.
what it
Like,
is?
imagine me getting a relationship, getting, heartbroken, and being like terribly depressed about that. I was like, I see, I've all my love my girlfriends, helped them all throughout high school and stuff, like with their breakup. So I know how that process goes, and I feel like I've kind of experienced it just from like from seeing it happen to my friends and stuff. So I just
Do you think you're scared?
that's not even honestly that's not even what turns me off about relationships, the breaking up. It's not, because I feel like I would not get in a relationship with someone in the first place that I would be almost breaking up with, even though I can't put that expectation in a relationship I just started. But
Yeah.
like I
Do you feel like you almost are scared or you kind of push that away because you already have that thought process going into it?
possibly I think it's 50% that, and also 50% unmotivation.
Yeah.
I'm just not motivated to get in a relationship or
Yeah.
try. I mean, I think I'm in a really good place where I love myself right now. Like, I love
Mhm.
my body. I love the way that I look. I love what I have, and I'm like, no one's really gotten that from me except me at this point. So
Right.
until someone has something to offer, then we'll talk. No, it's
Yeah.
not even,
No,
it's not,
that's awesome.
yeah. And it's like, I don't really want to see it like that, but
Well,
I
I
just
think
want
that is a
someone to
good way to
care.
see it. You shouldn't ever settle or, be with someone just because you feel pressure to be with someone. Like, whoever you are in a relationship with should be definitely
Yeah.
offering and adding to your life. Because if you're
Yes.
good on your own, then
We
it's like if
shouldn't
you're
be.
fulfilling yourself in all those ways, and that's actually really good because that's what they tell people to do is like fall in love with yourself first. Be the person who
Yeah.
you would want to date.
Right. Oh, I love
Honestly,
that.
your first relationship, if it's someone who really, gets you that point, is probably, I would say, like, would probably have a better chance of lasting.
Right, because I mean, I've fine tooth combed everything
Right.
up until that point, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and let's say I fall in love and it doesn't work, that's life. That happens to everyone, I feel like, at one point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
Everyone has to experience
yeah.
heartbreak
But
of some sort. I mean, some
and
people, I guess,
yeah.
maybe don't, but that's very rare.
And oh, believe me, I've fallen for straight boys in the past. I know what a good heartbreak feels like, but not like a heartbreak of like dating someone for months, years,
Yeah.
and then cutting that off. That's like a whole level of like yourself that's breaking off from you, I feel like,
Yeah.
at that point. I know heartbreaks suck. I know that for a fact, even though I haven't like kind of experienced the full force of one. But yeah, that's kind of like our take on dating, I guess. You know what you were telling me the other day, and I was kind of like really proud of you for, is that you said that you could hit up anybody from your past relationship wise and they would immediately answer and want to talk to you because you never cut ties with anyone that is your ex or anyone that you've dated. You never burn the bridge, no matter
Yeah.
what the situation is, especially with relationships. So many relationships end in burning flames.
Yeah.
Out of all the relationships that you've had, you said in confidence, and I believe you too.
Yeah.
I've met your exes, two of them actually from the top of my head, and it's like, yeah, no, they love you. At the end of the day, they still love you. You just don't love them anymore.
Yeah.
And that's
I mean,
okay.
well, here's the thing. It's really interesting because the way that I've always dated growing up were like all of my boyfriends were my friends 1st. So we were just like friends, and then it kind of like moved forward like more to like a relationship. So that's actually why I don't really love dating all that much, is because I was friends with guys for so long. So I understand what's going on in their minds on the other end of
Yeah.
it.
You have the mind of a guy in a lot of ways.
Yeah, or I've just like seen it and experienced and heard their, you know what I mean, their stuff. But I don't know. I feel like since it started on a friendship level, that it doesn't matter where the relationship takes you. I can still always appreciate that friendship that we had
Yeah.
and who they were as a friend prior to ever hooking up or
Yeah.
ever doing anything. You know what I
'Cause
mean?
at that point of you dating them, like, you already love them in a
Exactly.
way.
And so I think that, yeah, literally every single one of my exes I could hit up and like have a conversation with, and they would, yeah.
Be happy to answer the phone when
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I'm very much that person. I just don't like having drama with people in general. And I think that usually, if that's the case, then I don't keep people in my life that like I don't like or they don't like me.
Yeah, it's like a relationship is like if you're not mutually benefiting from it,
Right. Then
it
I
means
kind of just like
something
cut
is
that
not
off.
working out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, for all of my exes, like I don't talk to them on a regular basis, but if I picked up the phone and called any one of them,
Yeah.
they would answer
But
for
I think
sure.
that should be the case for anyone's
Yeah.
ex, you
But
know.
I think that's also too what's been hard for me bringing it back to like dating in LA is that I'm so used to being friends with all these guys, and you know, that's been my whole life is I've been friends with guys and just had a few girlfriends, and all of my girlfriends, we are so we hate drama and we're so upfront. Like literally if something pisses me off, I'll be like, that pissed me off, and I'll call them out. I
Yeah.
mean, I think you've even seen me do that with my friends.
No. Yeah.
And we'll just talk about it and then it's done. Like it's literally done. So
There's never really a time where like you hold a grudge on someone and they don't know about it. Like
yeah, like I'm
if
never
they've done
keeping things on
wrong.
the inside. If something pisses me off, I'll say it. But then here I am becoming a makeup artist and getting thrown into LA in a predominantly female industry, and it's so catty. And even the guys that are in it, probably some of them have more estrogen running through their veins than me.
Me.
But you know what I mean? It's just a very toxic industry that is so opposite from how I was brought up. And I feel like almost drama has like gravitated towards me because of that or something. I don't know. But it just, I've probably endured more drama in the last 2 years than I have in my entire life. But I'm not friends out here with guys like how I have been my whole life. So it's really hard for me to like just be dating because I'm like, I know what you want at the end of the day. And that's how life is at this point when it comes to like dating with apps and everything. Like people just want to hook up. And I feel like no one in LA wants to commit because they're just one swipe away from someone better. Or,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? There's so much like opportunity out there. So they're always thinking like the grass could be greener. When in all reality, if you find a good, genuine person out here, friendship or dating wise, like snatch them up and really cultivate that relationship because honestly,
It's rare.
it's rare.
Very
Yeah.
rare.
So,
So, wow, that's kind of like our dating in LA experience.
well, we
touched on
tried
it.
bringing it up first episode, but we kept getting sidetracked and we got more so into like dating apps than dating in LA.
Which dating apps is a huge part of dating in LA. So
Yeah.
not surprised it transpired. But you know, it's also funny about living in LA is that everybody in LA at some point needs roommates. You know, I've been through my phase with that, and you have a roommate, and something about roommates, especially moving in with your friend or moving in with someone that like also needs a roommate on one of these there's apps for it. Like let's say if you're moving into a house that already has two people living into it, I just think that roommates in LA never work out to some capacity. There's always going to be kind of like a negative thing that comes along with roommates. I think a lot of times people move to LA, they need roommates, and
Well,
they
I don't
hurry up
think
and
it's
get.
just LA. I think this is just
Oh
roommates in
yeah,
general.
yeah. When people kind of like rush into like that, it's almost like committing in a relationship. It's like you're being married to someone for 12 months. You know, you sign that lease with them or whatever it is. Like that's such a commitment, and that like that pressure of like keeping things under control for 12 months. If like something always happens, like, roommates fucking suck.
I think that you haven't had good really or experiences with roommates, and it's kind of like put a dent in some of your relationships. But I actually have had opposite experiences.
I have videos of like roommates I had in makeup school. Sorry, I cut you off. I had videos of people in makeup school that I would walk into their room because they shared two rooms, and I would just video record what they lived in. And like my it would be OCD spotless. Everything smells good. It's clean and organized. In my room, their room, like there's like gum stuck to the wall. Like you can't even see the floor because there's clothes everywhere. There's trash everywhere. There's makeup everywhere. I just like you're always moving in with someone that's super clean and has it together until, you know, a month goes by and you're like, oh, this is what I mean, you really do find out everything about a person once you live with them, you know,
For
like
sure.
you're sharing the same fridge with them, pantry, you know, half the time toilet with them. It's like, oh, even that too is like sharing a bathroom with someone else.
Yeah.
Even if it's your best friend, like I just need my own
I'm
space.
definitely over that state. Like
Yeah, you have your own bathroom.
I have a different take on it. I've actually had a lot of really good roommate experiences, but I mean, number one thing about being roommates with someone is you have to have good communication with each other, because if you can't communicate, then you're going to be living in hell.
Yeah.
And if you're too scared to speak your mind or whatever, like you will be living in hell. So, you definitely just need to be able to communicate. And I think as long as that is down and you kind of set boundaries, then it's fine. I mean, there are situations that obviously I wouldn't prefer to live with people, but I'm friends with all of my past roommates. I've actually
Right.
lived
Same,
with
actually.
my best friend and we became closer. But yeah, I think that it just depends on the situation. My sister actually lived with, I think it was four of them or five of them in a house, and they were all girls, her best friends from college, and they were all so close. So I just think it depends on the relationship. Like when I went to go to college, I was going with my best friend and the one that I was sharing the bed with this past weekend.
Yeah.
And literally everyone told us, do not be roommates, do not move in, blah, 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 blah. And we knew that we would be fine, and we did, and it was fine. Like we had very different lifestyles. Like I was a lot messier and she was definitely like more organized, but like we had boundaries, so none of my stuff like crossed, you know, that side of the room. And I'm not like a dirty person, I'm just like messy. So I'll have, and I've actually gotten a lot better, but I'll have
Fine
like,
line between that,
yeah,
by the
I don't
way.
have like food and dirty dishes or like
It doesn't stink in
gross
your
shit.
room.
Yeah,
Like things
no,
are clean. They're just not
they're
put
just
in their
like
place at all
clothes over the
times.
floor, yeah, or
Yeah.
whatever. And I've actually gotten a lot better with it as I've gotten older, because now it kind of stresses me out. But I have such bad ADHD, like something about it. Growing up, I could clean my room and in 5 minutes it'd be a mess and I wouldn't even know how it happened. My mind is just so like not there all the time. I'm thinking of whatever, but yeah, my
Mm.
room just becomes a tornado. But like I said, not as much anymore. And I think something that's really important too is like you have to have that respect factor for your roommate, and you always have to keep the common areas at least clean. Like if I have a mess, it's in my room. My mess isn't
Yeah.
in the common
But
areas. And if it
but what
is,
I'm
it's for like
saying,
a day or less,
yeah.
like
But
until I can move it. But
once it is a mess in your common room,
that's a problem.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're just, oh, there's gonna be always pros and cons, and conversations are gonna have to be just things gotta be discussed throughout the lease with each other. But yeah, sometimes just problems aren't solvable and you just gotta like move out on your own. And that's kind of like what happened with me. And I just figured at the end of the day, maybe I'm the one that's a shitty roommate. Like I'm the one that likes things to be clean at all times. If you see my apartment, it's very much like an OCD person's dream. And of course I can be relatable and have like a shirt on the floor every once in a while. But like, no, my house is constantly clean, and I just like
Right.
if things are out of place, like that kind of like offsets my work. I work from home, so it's just like I need things just to be exactly the way I left it. No one needs to be here living with me to alter anything. So
Yeah.
that is kind of like where I'm at on that. And but no,
But also, I think there's a downside about living alone as well.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, living alone is interesting, especially like being your own boss and, you know, like kind of just having your own world, you know, personally living alone, and also like business wise too. Like you're kind of like running your own. Like I think that me living alone has been the best decision, but I can also say that I've like been in like the worst ruts and like depression almost living alone, because you know you live alone, you have these like kind of spiraling thoughts and no one's there to kind of like pull you out of that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
such an extrovert too, so like
Yeah.
I feed off of those, you know, high energy, you know, going out, having conversations, you know, just other people I feed off of. And of course, I have that introvert factor as well, which gets fulfilled at all times because I live alone. But, you know, it's easy to kind of like get distracted and not like have like a structured schedule or routine throughout your day, because there's no one's telling you what to do. Like, you literally can do anything you want, which sometimes makes you do nothing and just kind of question your life at the end of the day. And yeah, I just think as long as you live alone and you're making time for friends, family, and social life, and you're getting out of the house and not becoming a hermit, which I've kind of fallen into every once in a while. But yeah, just take care of yourself no matter who you're living with. Mental health is always first. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely pros and cons about living
It's definitely
alone.
mental health and communication.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is with yourself, like when you realize that you're getting to those points and like
Yeah.
trying to being able to like pull yourself out of them, because
Right.
it happens in life, everyone
Yeah.
goes through those phases where they're in ruts or kind of like depressed or more like wanting to
Yeah.
be hermit mode. But
I think that those are always the most like biggest transitional phases too. Like, you got to go through those phases to
right.
like find out, oh yeah, that's why this happened.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like I went from, going to cosmetology school for 8 hours a day and then going to work. I used to work at H&M for 5 hours a day. So I would wake up, go to school at, 7 a.m., work, I take appointment. It was pretty much like working at a salon. So I had this crazy day and I would come home and like pull all-nighters freaking doing makeup looks. But now that it's like I don't have that like structure routine anymore, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it kind of throws you through like a loop almost.
Yeah.
It's interesting to kind of have everything be kind of handled for you by somebody else to, okay, your world, your choices, everything
Yeah.
is up to you now. It's
I can relate with that a lot.
a strange
because-
transition to
Yeah.
adulthood.
I will go out there and say this right now. I would be shocked if I ever had a job again where I had to clock in a normal job like that. So my brain isn't just not wired for that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
For people who do work like that and that's how they are wired. I happen to not be one of those people, but definitely like when you're your own boss and you are freelance or whatever it may be, or if it's something where you work from home and
Mm-hmm.
you realize the importance of human connection. And that's something that I've actually been struggling with a lot out here, is because usually you meet people from either school or work in life.
Yeah.
And now that we've gone through a pandemic and people aren't as social anymore, whatever, like it's kind of hard to make friends nowadays
Agreed.
if you're not going to school or working with other people. So
like in a way of like putting yourself in a setting of a whole bunch of people your age and
right.
yeah, in
Yeah,
that way.
it's really interesting. And like even the people who I have met in the industry out here, I've had a lot of bad experiences, and it makes me almost not want to be friends with people in the same industry as mine,
Yeah.
because I think, I don't know, there's something about the beauty and entertainment industry, the way that I'm part of it and how you're part of it, like specifically, I guess, social media, influencing, whatever, that is really toxic out here.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I
mean-
think maybe in general, but definitely in LA, a lot of toxicity and just problematic people are in these industries. And it's crazy because I think nowadays, as far as the world of influencing, like with these big influencers, they're almost like celebrities nowadays, and they thrive off of drama. They thrive off of, even when people get canceled, because that
Yeah, because
will introduce them to a whole bunch of new people.
that's what gets them
people
views.
are gravitated to their exactly.
Yeah,
So
and they do it all themselves. It's like
Yeah.
and in Hollywood, it's like there's their management is like staging these things for them. It's like
like publicity.
yeah, like publicity or paparazzi.
Yeah.
Telling people where the address is. But it's like, yeah, I know with these influencers, it's kind of like they're all doing it themselves. And kind of like whoever
they don't mind it, but it's crazy because I kind of got put into this industry just because I like doing makeup for the art of doing makeup. I don't like everything else that surrounds this industry pretty much. So I don't really want to associate with it all that much. I'd rather just have friends who I know are good, genuine people, because drama and all that bullshit doesn't get me going. I actually hate when I'm involved in drama.
Yeah. I think a lot of people say that, but still get drama.
Right.
I can confirm that it's not you causing the drama.
And what's crazy too is like I said, like I feel like I have been involved in a lot of drama situations, and then I have to like pull back and check myself because I've never been a part of that in my entire life. Like you could literally ask any of my friends.
Like you're not
like,
you're not someone that brings
no,
drama.
and I think it's
So when
just
it
the way
happens
that
to
we're
you, it's
used to
like what?
communicating is like if something's wrong, we just say it. But like I said, since I've been out here, I've been involved in so many drama situations, and I'm like, wait, is this me? Like, am I the problem?
Am I the
Am
drama?
I the drama?
Literally, but you're not.
Okay, good. Like, I always have to double check and ask people who are like associated with it, and I hope that people are real enough to tell me if I was, because I never want to be that person. I think it's disgusting when people
Yeah.
are like that, and it literally gives
Agreed.
me like the ick about a person if they're like that. Like as soon as I recognize that in someone, I want nothing to do with them.
Isn't that crazy how like you can be best friends with someone and like go somewhere with them, or you you have an experience to where
You have
like you have exposure to
experiences.
how they treat you in a setting with a whole bunch of other people. Like there's a lot of things that can be revealed when you're in a setting with
Oh my
someone that you
god.
think you know very well with a lot of other people. You're like, "Oh wait, you're actually a horrible person."
Or when you hang out with someone a lot and then all of a sudden their ego gets really big and gets to their head
Yeah.
and then they change.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. I don't think I've ever been gaslit or manipulated or like anything more in a actual relationship that I've had with someone, like a romantic relationship, as I have in friendships out here.
Yeah.
Like the dolls are not playing.
Yeah, there's an upside and a downside to like the feminine, energy of our industry. But there, I
Oh my
mean, there's a
god.
lot of cattiness that comes with it, that
Right.
just kind of comes with it.
Right. So, anyways, if you are like a straight guy in LA and need more friends and are like, cool, hit me up. Let's be friends
Yeah.
because I'm missing all of my straight male friends. Like, I honestly, that's why you are like my saving grace, is because you're not drama minded either. And I feel like since you're a guy, like, I don't know, I just get along with masculine energy a lot. But it's funny because, like, sometimes I'm the guy. Like, right now, I'm definitely more the guy looking.
Yeah,
You're like a
yeah.
full beat, and I'm just like here in a fucking
Yeah,
hat.
I did
Like,
my makeup, I think,
yeah.
30 minutes longer than you did.
But it like works out. We kind of are yin and yang. Like sometimes I'm the girl and you're the guy, and you do the manly
Yeah, I
things.
carry the traits from the heterosexual male gene that's in me of not causing drama. I feel
Right.
like,
And
like I have the
there's
masculine.
also just certain things that you do that I'm like, oh my God, that was such a manly and chivalrous thing for you to do. Like, I don't know, whenever we walk down the street, you'd make sure you're on, what is it? What side?
Oh,
I've
this
never
side of
even
the
heard this
street.
before you.
If we're on the sidewalk, and I always make sure that I'm between you and the street.
Right.
Because in a relationship, the man should, I think, and I know that the man should be, protecting her from the cars. If
Right.
someone, it just kind of like wired.
Yeah,
You've heard
no.
that before. It's a thing.
I don't think like guys are really raised like that as much nowadays. No.
I don't think they're raised like that either.
Yeah.
But I think that should just be how it's
Yeah.
done. But I mean,
there's
there's been times where I catch myself like, oh, you're not on the right side of the sidewalk. Let me just switch with you. You're
Yeah.
like, why'd you do that? I'm like, I just need to be on this side.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm saying. There are certain times where like I do, like you do have masculine energy, or like even if there was like a bug, I feel like I would freak out and you would kill it.
The
You know what I
cockroach
mean?
in Hawaii.
What?
The cockroach in Hawaii.
Yeah, you just like
Gotta do what I
protect.
gotta do. You
Yeah.
have to like separate your body from like the physical reality and be like, hey, like this bug is gonna go either way. Let's take care of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess that's like
then-
in my manly mind. That's just the man in me. That just,
Right.
like,
But
breaks
then there's
down.
other times where I feel like I'm for sure like the guy. And
Yeah.
like, I just have like more masculine energy with certain things.
I think
or,
just
like,
mentally you're more of a man than I am.
yeah.
But I'm
would
more.
agree.
I don't know. Yin yang. I think we're like 50-50 almost.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why it's perfect.
Yeah.
But I feel like girls just, unless they have that mindset, and it's not like I have a problem with girls. I don't. I can get along with people. I just hate the girls that thrive in drama and love that, are always surrounded in those situations. And unfortunately, I think it's just because of the industry that we're in that comes across a lot. But yeah, anyways, speaking of fake people out here in LA.
Okay, there's like emotionally fake and then like physically fake. And now let's get to the people who are physically fake,
Right.
me included.
Me too. Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like living in LA, being surrounded by
gorgeous people?
Yeah, that there's like a specific standard that you feel that you have to look like or to like keep up? Or
I think if anything, you should look different in LA. Like if and if this is coming from my brain and my logic, I think that everyone looking the same is very much a trend out here.
Yeah.
But I think a way for you to stand out is from you not following that, obviously, and creating a lane for yourself. But a lot of people fall into the the BBL train and get their chin done and lips done. Me getting forehead done. Me, but like I'm not helping my case here. Hey, I can officially say that I've gotten nothing done besides injectables, and all injectables are temporary.
Oh, I have.
Oh yeah, you had a nose job, and that actually was a huge difference. Like your side profile is like unrecognizable. Well, you had the best nose.
It was always the same exact from the front, but the side was definitely different. But I actually had to get that surgery because I couldn't breathe out of my nose for like 2 years. It was bad, and I literally just thought I had a sinus infection that I never dealt with. But I had a bone spur growing from from my septum outwards, and it like pushed my septum over to one side of my nose completely. But I do remember I had like 12% breathing capacity out of my nose completely.
But you're like, doctor, while you're at it, I have like a little bump in the side profile. It's like a little shavy shave.
Yeah, because I was always so scared to get a nose job prior to, because I did really like my nose from the front. So, I mean, it's always looked like this. So anyways, my whole thing was like, I'm never going to get it done unless I have to. And then, I had to get surgery. So then I was like, well, bitch, if you're going in, by all means go in. Like, bring your little grinder and fucking chisel that shit down. Yeah.
The cheese grater for all it takes. Just grind it down.
Right.
A nail file. I don't care. Get in there and remove it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, you haven't had anything done. Like when it comes to like a BBL, tummy, the girl.
Actually, I have had something else done.
You have?
Yeah. I don't know if I've actually ever even told you this. I literally forget I had it done. But I had my hips done. Like, how old was I? I think that was like summer of 2013. I've just always had really, really, really big hips, like genetically. And like I got like a little bit of liposuction of it taken out of my hips.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was young. I always forget about it. I forget that I got that done. But yeah, it just like helped the way my body distributed my fat because it was just like something I've always been really self-conscious about. And no matter what, even after they did it, naturally the way that my body is, like I have like hip dips, so that'll never go away. All this comes down to genetics. So shouts out, thanks mom and dad, but also shouts out, thanks mom and dad, because they've paid for these procedures too. So it's like you fucked me up and you fixed me. So like
mine too, girl. Mine too. I had LASIK eye surgery. Love you, mom, more than anything for that. I was 18. I didn't have money for that.
Well, I mean, I think like I don't know. It's crazy because I think like there's this weird energy around like plastic surgery and fillers and all of this, and like it used to be so taboo and like not talked about and like shamed upon, and then it became this thing where it's like almost like you were saying kind of trendy, but people still definitely shame on it too. And it's like, look, I get it, like you're born how you're born, and like if you want to accept that and if you want to love yourself through that, like fucking kudos to you.
At the end of the day, exactly.
Like good for you. But like if someone doesn't feel comfortable when they look at themselves and they don't like what they see, like if they want to go fix that, like fucking go for it. Like at the end of the day, get these things done for you, because you know what I mean? Like after I got my nose job, it's crazy. And I think for both things, it's almost like why I forget that I've like had them done before is because like when I first saw myself, that's how I've always felt. Like I feel like I looked more like myself once it healed than I did before.
Yeah. Isn't
So
it interesting how like at the end of the day, like no one even chooses what they look like. Like you
yeah.
were literally just born. No, we didn't even ask to be alive in the first place. So don't be mad if I get what I get. I'm not happy with it. So I change some things here and
Yeah.
there to make me happy and have a better life.
Right, right.
No, your under eyes look really. You actually just got
Well, I just got filler under there. Yeah.
under there again, and they actually made a big difference.
Again, it was my first time.
Well, she FaceTimes me the day after. I'm like, oh, your under eyes are killing it. She got filler, and she's like, oh yeah, I've also been crying all day today.
I literally was
Another reason
going
why.
on no sleep and had been bawling, crying all day.
Yeah.
So my face was already swollen.
So she calls me like not crying in that moment, but like right afterwards, and I'm like, you look fabulous. Do you have concealer on? She's like, no, I'm just like swollen from like being devastated, if anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, are you okay? Because you look great.
No, honestly, I like felt horrible emotionally, but then I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, cunt. Like I looked so
Literally.
good. So anyways, yeah, I literally walked in to get my eyes done, and I had an appointment with this lady for so long. I like found her on Instagram and like had to reschedule my appointment a bunch of times. Anyways, I finally go into my appointment, and like I said, I'd been crying all day and was going on no fucking sleep. Like I just worked a massive job, like 50 hours in 3 days. So I was like a zombie. And I go in and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, but you know, my face is kind of swollen. And the girl's like, oh no, like why? And I was like, I worked 50 hours in the last 3 days. And she was like, oh, and I was like, also I've been crying all day. And she was like, don't worry, girl, me too. And I'm like, thank God. First of all. Second of all, do you have an ice pack?
Yeah.
She was like icing my face before I went in. And I think that's literally why it looked so good originally, because they put one syringe in, which I thought I was going to need one under each eye, but it looked amazing.
Yeah.
And then
It did look
all of
really
a sudden
good.
all the swelling went away, and now I'm like, I could probably use another syringe.
Yeah.
But for me, that's like a genetic thing. Insurance should also cover certain cosmetic things if it's genetic.
I agree with that 100%. Also, quick question, other than your under eyes, would you ever get in lips, would you ever get filler anywhere else in your face? Do you want filler anywhere else in your face?
No, I don't need filler anywhere else in my face.
Yeah, you have a really good face. You got good cheekbones.
Yeah,
pointy
everyone always
chin.
thinks I have filler in my cheekbones anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get asked all the time. Like, they
You have good
always think I
cheekbones,
have
but
filler in my
I
cheeks.
can tell when they're done.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just have
yeah.
such a tiny face
I love-
that I feel like if I
You
were
don't
to
need
get
any
filler
more-
anywhere else, it would just make me look fat.
no,
I'm serious.
I don't think that.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been insecure about anything else besides my under eyes and my
Yeah.
lips, about my face.
And those are the only places you've ever had filler, too.
Yeah. I had some in my smile lines that I would love to fix, but I
Yeah.
don't know if like filler is the best. Filler, you have to be scared or careful though, because it stretches out your skin and then you get dependent on it. And then when you get older, that's why these
Yeah.
women look like really puffy in their photos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's from all the filler.
Rather look puffy than saggy, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it depends. Yeah, there's definitely, of course, like an aging factor when it comes to getting fillers and work done, because you know
I think you just have to be careful and trust
Yeah.
whoever's doing it.
you get like an expert opinion, because you
Right.
might want something, but it might not be for you.
Well,
you
also
know?
too, I think like with beauty standards, people have different expectations. Like some people love the fake look. They want people to know that they've had work
and kill
done.
it.
And
if you do that,
you know what I mean?
That's how you feel on the inside. Great,
right.
but that's
Yeah.
not for everyone.
No, and exactly. And then there's people who it's not. So there's also going to be doctors who are better at doing one or the other,
Yeah.
or whose clientele is mainly one or the other. So
I think I'm at a point to where like I don't need any more, or else I'm gonna start looking like, oh, Sam, the one that looks like he has a lot of filler. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I need any more filler. I've
Where-
actually had kind of a lot.
where do you have it all?
I have Botox and filler. I have literally
Yeah, shouts out Botox. I have you too,
Oh
and you
my
literally are a lifesaver. And
everyone
I'll never
needs
be able
Botox.
to live without you.
Everyone somewhere I feel like needs Botox, and it's such a beautiful thing. But I have filler, my nose bridge, nose tip, top and bottom lip, and then just chin. I have 2 full syringes in my chin now.
Wow.
Do I look like it?
No.
It-
I mean,
all
you
that-
definitely have like a prominent defined chin.
Yeah, but it doesn't look filler-y.
No.
I think that if I started getting filler in my cheekbones, that's when things would go for the worst.
Yeah,
in my
I think
opinion.
cheeks might be like the trickiest area, to be honest.
I don't even have that strong of a cheekbone, but I don't think that my face
I don't think you need it.
calls for it.
No.
Yeah. I contour, I bronze there. I fake it when I need to, but
Yeah.
I'm happy with my face.
Would you
right now.
ever get any other work done?
On my face?
Or just anywhere on your body?
I've always wanted a nose job until I got a liquid nose job, and that's going to kind of fill in all the negative gaps. Like, they pretty much do the opposite of a nose job where they kind of like add, but they add
With
in
filler.
areas that it makes it look like it connects more into your brow bone. It kind of like evens everything out proportion wise. So
Well, they're able to like alter the shape of your nose with filler.
100%, but by adding, not subtracting, and that's what they do with nose jobs typically, is they eliminate a bump, or they reshape your nose in some way. But yeah, with just fillers they can kind of do the same thing in a way, and I love that. So I don't think I would actually get anything else done right now, not even to my body. I mean, I want to lose a little bit of weight and kind of get a six-pack. That's kind of up to me, not a doctor. So
Right.
I'm actually really I'm confident in the moment.
That's good.
I love my overdone lips. They're great. They're just a slight overdone, what I mean?
Yeah. I would just love to like slightly get lipo all over my body. I just need like, 10 pounds overall out
Just
of here.
removed. First of all, I think your body looks beautiful, but where in your
Thanks.
body are you like about? Not to point your insecurity.
Like I'm saying, like literally, if you could just put my entire body into like a machine and it evenly took out like 10 to 15 pounds all
just
over
everywhere,
it.
just subtracted a little bit.
Yeah, like
Just
subtracted
don't
like
eat
an
for a
inch or
week.
two everywhere.
I think that like over half the computers at this point in the whole world have someone watch. I will not be surprised right now. My laptop in front of me is recording.
Or
us.
phones. The fact that nowadays you can just have a conversation with your friends and then all of a sudden you're on Instagram and it shows up on your feed.
Yeah.
Like how many times
Yep.
does that happen where you're talking about something in a regular conversation and then an hour later, 2 hours later, the next day, it shows up.
Yeah, like as an average, like talking about, actually that happened to me. That happened to me last week. I was talking about getting a Swiffer sweeper to like, is that what you call them? Swiffer
Yeah.
sweepers to like clean up my floor on the phone with my mom. Actually, I was on a FaceTime call on my phone. I go on Facebook and actually like the first thing that popped up was a Swiffer sweeper ad, and it was actually the green one that I was literally like copy paste from my brain. Like, oh, that reminds me, I need to get one.
Right.
Like, whoa. And thank God I got one because I cleaned up and the floors are spotless. But no, regardless, that is crazy how like that's always being monitored. And
Yeah.
oh, you don't think you're being recorded at all times? I dare you to say, hey Alexa, or hey, I don't want to trigger my phone, but hey Siri, out loud. Your phone is constantly recording you already.
Yeah.
To wait for that. If you think about it, everybody has this going on. Who has the time to look at everybody? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I'm just like 1 in a billion that's like being
Yeah.
recorded. So a part of me doesn't really care. And at this point, if they have footage of me, great.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Just like use it for their own personal
is-
pleasure? Great.
Yeah.
It just comes down to not thinking about it at this point, because you know
Pretty
what's gonna
much.
happen regardless. Isn't that crazy how people literally have a job to hack people, or literally have a job to spam?
Or spam.
Like I want to. I actually
I want to
want
know
to
what they get.
I want to like. Next time we get a spam call, we should like answer it and be like, "Hey, we'll ask them all the questions of being a spammer." I'm like, literally, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Being a spammer, being a scammer. It was so funny. My friend, her account got hacked. Her Instagram account got hacked. And something happened where she got in contact with them. And it was basically like, give me my fucking account back. And they were like, okay, if you record yourself with this video and post it on your story, then we'll give you your account back. And she was like, okay. So it's one of those things that people are like, send me your Cash App. She flipped $30 into $30K for me. Like, blah, 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 blah. So she literally recorded herself being like, everybody go follow Ashley, blah, blah, blah. It's not a joke. What she did were, I don't know. It was so crazy. And I DM'd her because I'm like, wait, what? First of all, she would never fall into one of those things.
Yeah.
And
I never heard that.
And then she ended up doing it, and then they didn't give her account back. And then she ended up getting her account back eventually, and like having to go on her story, be like, sorry guys, and kind of explain the situation. But it was crazy. They were like literally holding her account for ransom and was like, take a video of you saying this and post it to your story.
So they hacked into her account and said they wouldn't like leave or give it back to her unless she made that video.
Right. And then she did it, and then they didn't, and then she ended up getting it back some other way. I don't know, but I was like,
It makes me
damn,
so mad.
they're not fucking playing games out here.
It's like
who are you people?
It's like, yeah, getting your freaking child or animal stolen and like you're not getting this back until you pay up. It's like, what? It's like borderline just like psycho.
Yeah, it's all really fucking
Not me
weird.
comparing my Instagram account to like someone's kid getting stolen, but you know what I
Right.
mean? Like same kind of behavior.
Well, honestly, that's why I don't even really take nudes. Because I'm like, you just
have
never
kids.
know that, or like blackmail people, like people who blackmail. Whenever I send nudes to a guy, I only will send them over Instagram DM or Snapchat because they go away. You just never know who's gonna like try and leak shit of you.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? There's nothing that you can fucking do. And I will never text someone a nude.
Oh, no. That's like hard. No, as you're scrolling through the conversation, never that. I've only ever sent nudes on Snapchat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
Some
no, I
people
agree.
do, which that's okay, but I don't know. I'm just not really into that. All right, you know the drill. If you want to fly by this section, go ahead and skip a minute and 15 seconds ahead, and we'll meet you there. I was hooking up with a guy, and he like really wanted to film us having sex, and I told him like, no, like you're not gonna, like, what? No.
Oh.
And so, you know, he like kept asking like over time, and eventually I was like, fine, but you have to film it on my phone. And he was like, okay. And like, it was just mainly like the act
to protect yourself.
It was like the act of like him doing that in the moment that like got him off. But like, as far as it goes for me, I'm like, you will never have that of me on your phone. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then
No, because
that
you know
way
he's
I'm
gonna
in
keep that
control.
forever.
Right.
And it's a boy. Like he's gonna either use it for himself, whatever, or
I mean,
like
for sure
freaking
for
show
himself.
anybody. But like,
Yeah. Also, no one needs to see that.
no one needs to see that. Or in person, you don't need to have that.
Right.
Unless it's completely consensual, like you guys are into
Yeah.
that.
And like,
Yeah.
the thing is, at the end of the day, I let him do it, but it was on my phone. And then
Did you send it to
I
him?
don't even know. No, I would never send it to him. Are you kidding? I mean, if he asked to watch it after, like, I would show it.
Do you
But
still have it?
yeah, honestly, he hasn't even really ever asked to watch them.
Well, obviously.
It's literally just the act of doing it that like he thinks is so hot.
I get that.
Yeah. So
I get that. It's... Wow, this is a very kind of, as always, scattered episode.
right. Yeah.
Anyways, fabulous talk. I like talking to you, Kenna. I think that you know, I think that we'd be good friends.
Yeah, I guess we alright. Be cool.
I adore you. I love you. I'm
love
so
you
happy. I feel like that we were a little bit more like kind of chill this episode, but maybe I don't know.
Well, I'm still kind of in like recovery mode from this weekend, so
So
like
my
I said,
my back
I
is
had a
too.
lot of fun, and now the serotonin is a little depleted from my brain.
Yeah.
Probably some dopamine too.
Anyways,
Yeah, great episode, I think.
yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening to week 3. We love you. We're happy to have you here, and we will be back again next week for episode 4. Anything else you want to say? Huh?
No,
Follow
and
us.
good time as always. Good times. I can't wait until, you know, we keep getting more feedback from you guys and you guys write in with questions or stories for us to respond to. I can't wait to just like build our relationship with you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we can't wait to have that in front of us and, you know, bounce back and forth with you guys. I can't wait to, you know, just start this community.
Yeah, hear what you guys like that we talk about, or
Don't
if
like.
there's topics that you actually like want us to talk about. Yeah, like we have no limits and we can really do whatever the fuck we want here. It's our
I
place.
wouldn't kiss you. That's
You
the only
wouldn't
limit.
kiss me?
That's the only limit. That's the only limit.
Yeah. No.
Have we ever kissed, actually, even being drunk? I don't think we've ever kissed.
Like made out?
No, even kissed.
I feel like we've kissed once.
Should we kiss right now?
Definitely not right now.
Okay, we need to wrap this shit up.
Okay. Bye,
All right,
guys.
guys. Are we good?
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See you next week, bitches.
you all so much for listening to another episode of Inner Thoughts. You can find us on all social media platforms at Inner Thoughtcast. You can find me at Samuel Ray.
Make sure you follow me at Kenna.Reef